Hey nature photographers, it's Lee Hoy again. I'm coming to you today with a first. I was contacted by Zhiyun-Tech to take a look at a couple of lights. Now, one of the things many of y'all comment about really enjoying about my channel is my honesty. And when they contacted me, I said, yep, I'll be happy to take a look at some products, but I'm gonna be an honest reviewer. And I've often said that if I haven't used a product for a while, it's really hard to do a review. So this is really gonna be a first impression. I literally have not taken the two lights out of the box. That's what they sent me. We're gonna be taking a look at them from unboxing to design, setup, how I might use them. So truly a blind review. I believe that's the best way for me to be honest with you as we go through this. So I'm excited about sharing this. This product's just been released and looking forward to seeing what kind of uses I can put it to. So stay tuned and we'll be taking a look at their new lights. Howdy from West Texas. I'm Lee Hoy, professional nature photographer, and this is my YouTube channel, Lee Hoy Photography. I'm an OM System Ambassador, photography workshop instructor for Wildside Nature Tours of Precision Camera and Video, and contributing author for the Journal of Wildlife Photography. All right, well, let's take a dive right in. What I'm gonna do, they're truly still in the cardboard box they shipped them to me. So let's just take a look at them together, okay? So it looks like there's one box that's bigger. Let's see if I can even get it out here. So this is the Molus X60RGB. So again, first impressions, it's a combo light. First off, the design is very retro and pretty cool looking. I'll give it that, okay? So that's one thing I really like. I think it looks kind of cool. How am I going to use this? Let's find out. So we're going to jump right in. Fortunately, being from West Texas, if I ever have to get into anything, we always have our pocket knife with us, don't we? So let's crack open this box and let's see what's inside. Oh, wow, okay. So first impression, there's a very nice case inside. Look at this. So really nice design case. Company name on the front. A place for a business card, which, you know, if you're using things with travel, you just hope there's honest people in the world. But I'm going to tell you what I do. I travel a lot. And so with every bag I travel with, big and small, so if I have a big bag and a smaller bag inside of it that has some valuable stuff, I always put an air tag. I think tile would be what you would use for Android users, but I always have an air tag inside a bag. So even though I'm probably put a business card in here that if someone found this, they might return it to me. More importantly, I'm gonna hide an air tag inside of it. Well, let's see what's inside this nice little bag they sent. All right. Okay, so it looks like, first off, it has an AC/DC power supply. So that's great because a lot of times when I have so much gear that uses batteries, it gets a little old sometimes making sure something is charged. So anytime I have a possibility to use that with a light, that's going to make it that much more appealing to me because a lot of what I do is inside as well. Okay, so we have, it's kind of fun tearing stuff open, and it probably brings back Christmas memories as a child because my brother and I were the only grandkids on either side until I was 27, so I'm pretty spoiled. All right, so it looks like you've got this nice diffuser. All right, reflector and diffuser. And initially what I like about the size of this light is its size. I will be very interested to see how powerful it is because, you know, right now I've got some fairly decent sized lights in here and I'm always looking for smaller because my house isn't that big. I live up in a cabin up here in the mountains of West Texas. So the diffuser goes on well. Again, I haven't even taken a look at the instructions, so we're just walking through the parts that are found in this light. And the interior of this case has really nice, you know, so it's already got pre-cut for you to store the light in. And we're going to find out what's in the little pouches. I like when bags have storage at the top. You know, I love like Pelican cases, and but you always got to buy the additional lid organizer, which I always want. So I like it when bags come with the organizers already inside. Well, all right. So first off, this is compact. I don't even know what some of these dials do. This is going to be fun to dive into. So we're taking a first look at this. So again, to give you, there's my hand for comparison. One thing I'm gonna have to do is, after I film this, I'm gonna sit down with the instructions, get familiar with the light, and then we'll resume this, this video in a little bit. So let's see what else is in here. This probably looks like the power bank, I'm gonna guess. Okay. And what I see initially, I see a little, looks like USB-C, hopefully USB-C connection on the back there. So, I again have not taken a look at any instructions, but I have a feeling that this thing is probably going to connect here somehow. But you'll see there's a bright yellow warning sticker. That means I need to read the directions, which is probably going to be foreign to some of y'all, but we're going to figure that out. So here's the different pieces of this light. Let's see what's up here in the top. The silica gel desiccant. Looks like some kind of a mesh bag. We'll figure out what I'm going to be using that for. And then, quite importantly, the directions. So I'm going to take a little time here in a minute after I open up this other light, get familiar with these, and then we'll come back and talk about how I'm going to use this. So here's the other light that they've sent. And I don't even, again, yeah, they sent me an email telling me what this light is. I couldn't tell you. It's been, I've been so busy with things, and I'm getting ready to get on the road to go to Seattle for Glasner's camera event out there, their big spring event. I'll be speaking on bird and flight photography and helping out at the OM system table. Well, all right, so it's well padded. Okay, so this is the, this is a Bowens mount adapter. So the ZY mount B. So I'm gonna assume probably would be using that with this light. So let's open this up and see what's inside. And again, I'm gonna be honest, I've done no research on this. Why? I'm not here to be a pitch man. I hope this is a great light. I hope that it'll have some great uses for me. And I appreciate the fact they sent me this light. They did not have to. They contacted me and asked if I'd be interested in doing this, to which I am happy to review, give first impressions, talk about gear that is applicable to what I do. And of course, lighting, even though I'm a nature photographer, I'm shooting videos. I do a lot of macro work with lighting. And I'm always interested to see how gear might help me do what I love to do. All right, so nice, simple little mount in here. It looks like this is going to work directly with this light. But again, so let's go figure out what all this does. Overall, I'm going to tell you this too. One thing I noticed, this is solid. This is not light. This is good build quality. This feels well built. There's nothing cheap feeling about it. I feel like this little lever right here is plastic. That may be, but it's solid. It's I don't like stuff that falls apart. You ever buy something and you start unscrewing something and 3 or 4 pieces come out and you're like, this is not going to be good. So far, I would say on the build quality overall, I feel pretty impressed because both this has a good solid feel to it. Nothing chintzy, nothing cheap feeling about it. And, I don't like buying, I don't necessarily believe that you always have to buy the most expensive thing. Memory cards, I save a ton of money on memory cards by going with a cheaper brand. But, so let's see what this little light's going to do. I'm going to go do some research. I'll come right back and tell you what I discover. Hey, nature photographers, I'm back. I spent a great deal of yesterday playing with the Zhiyun 60-watt RGB COB fill light. And I have to tell you, I am beyond happy, and here's why. I have been trying to figure out a way to have some fill light when I'm doing these videos outside. Sometimes you just want to bring a little light to the face. And I mean, in here I have like an Elgato light. I have a couple of other LED panels, and everything I'd looked at was big and bulky, and I thought, how am I going to carry that around the Big Bend area and set it up? And we get a lot of wind out here. Well, my problems are solved. I truly knew nothing about this light. I did not go on the website and do research beforehand, because I feel like, that might have influenced me in some ways, and I don't want to do that. This thing has a ton of features that I had no idea what it did. So when I tell you I'm actually very surprised and happy, I mean it, and I think you can tell that from watching my other videos. This is why I'm so happy. I figured out, so this is the actual light itself, okay? It comes with a little protective cover over the lens. One of these is a mode dial, and one of these is another adjustments dial, but I don't care about the dials because it has an app, and I'm actually going to show you how to use the app. I'm going to record my screen on my phone. I love it. It connected quickly. It makes it easy to change. It has some really cool features, so I'm stoked, and here's why. I charged the battery yesterday, and a couple of things I figured out about this. You can run this off AC power, okay, which doesn't help me when I'm out traveling around, but if I'm going to use it inside, it's wonderful. It can be run off of a USB-C, so you have a power bank. I can power this light off that, plus I can power it off this battery. So they did a great job in the design. So there's a USB-C in and out on the battery. You can charge it, or that's where you can plug in a power bank and run it that way. And the battery connects really easy to the light itself. Now there's one thing that I thought, and it's only because I don't have big nails, and there's a little rubber cover here for the light itself where I'm going to connect the battery. And it took me a few tries to try to dig that little thing out, but the reality is you want to protect these kind of electrical connection pins. So a part of it is I just need to let my nails grow out. I broke some of them big time when I was on my last few workshops, so I'm letting them grow out. That was the only issue for me, honestly, was trying to get that out. The nice thing is they even have this little lever to help kind of hold this rubber gasket in place so you don't lose it right here on the end. So what I did was I just assembled it yesterday and started playing around with it. Well, so there's also on the light, so you have the USB-C in and out on the battery, but there's also USB-C plug and the DC power on the light, right? So again, can run it off of a power bank. I can run it off of DC power inside. And the reality is this size is going to make this very usable when I'm out and about. So let me take this little rubber cover off. So it's got a little groove in there. Here, let me back up where the light gives it. There's a little groove that your nail would go in, and then you just pull this little cover out, okay? Now, the big thing is you want to put that in the case so you don't lose it. And the battery attaches quite easily. It just snaps in and then should lock into place. Yep. So it locks into place, and then there's a little button right here that I press just to disconnect. So again, snaps into place. And this is all there is to it. So I had a small rig monitor mount, okay? This is just a simple monitor mount. The beauty of this is this light has a 1/4 inch hole right here. So I'm going to be able to attach this on top of the small rig cage around my monitor, okay? So I have my camera that I video with, and then I have a Atomos Shinobi monitor that I use to help see what I'm doing. And this is going to attach right to the top. Easy disconnect. It's small, it's light. I'm not going to have to worry about too much weight on my camera, but that means when I'm out doing videos, out and about, I'm going to have a super powerful, small, compact fill light. And I could also see using this for macro. I'll be honest, if you're a product photographer, a portrait photographer, this is even going to have more uses because you'll see some of the color things it does later. It has a music feature, it'll pulse, it'll strobe, which you guys do not want to see me dancing under a strobe light, I assure you. But for what I'm going to do, so my purposes, this is definitely going to be my video fill light, big time. And this little case is so compact that this is probably going to stay next to the case with my video gear where I can easily load it up when I head out. And I may well end up getting me another one of these batteries so that if I end up filming for longer than this lasts, and you know, I read it in the instructions, I can't remember, if you run the light on full power, I think it's somewhere between 45 minutes an hour. Look at the technical specs. I'm not here to regurgitate the kind of crap you can read online. But as we like to say out here in the South, I'm happy as a pig in crap, baby. I am really pleased with this. So what you do, and then of course yesterday we were looking at the diffuser here, right? So what you do to put the diffuser on, you're just going to pop it off like this, and then you invert it like things that we aren't going to talk about, and then it just slides over this little cover, and now you have this really nice diffuser, and it attaches like a Bowens mount, which is the other device they sent me that we'll look at in a minute. So so there's a little arrow telling you how to put this on, and doesn't mean I'm going to do it well. Yeah, here we go. I'm trying to be careful here. And then when it snaps into place, there's this little locking mechanism right up here on the side that keeps it from coming off inadvertently. So now I've got a nice, small, compact diffuser. You can buy a soft box that comes with it, which honestly, if I'm going to be using this outside in West Texas, a soft box is not a good idea. All that means is the wind is going to blow this thing till kingdom come. But this little diffuser will work great for me. Again, small, compact, very lightweight, so it's not going to add a lot of weight on top of my video camera. And to remove it, you just push this little lever in, again right here, push it in, rotate, comes right off. Okay, so this is the light, this is the battery, and this is the diffuser. So when I go to put it on, just snaps right into place. Now, one thing I like too, my God, when you own tons of electronic gear, don't you ever get tired of trying to guess on how long you have to hold the power button down? I mean, I have so many gadgets and crap that, you know, do I hold it down 2 seconds, 5 seconds? But one thing I noticed here, watch when I press the button down, the lights on the battery all go to full and let me know that it's powered on. Now, one kind of odd thing about it, I'll say, to actually turn it on, you have to rotate the two dials on the back. So just because you press the power button, now it's powered on. These two dials, I have to rotate them at the same time to turn it on. So it's booting on, okay? And now you see this light, all right? And you could make all kinds of adjustments on the dial. I'll be honest, that's probably not what I'm going to use those for, okay? I don't want to have to like fiddle around, and I've got some new glasses that are coming with progressive lenses built into them, but it looks like right now as I spin the top knob, I'm adjusting the brightness, so I'm reducing it, okay? So as I spin this dial, the adjustment dial, I'm brightening it. And then I think you press it in. Yeah, that took it to 100, down to 0. So you have these different controls. But when I started, pardon me, most great YouTubers would cut that out. Sorry. So, you know, I'm not going to use these little dials. That's not going to be a thing for me. I'm going to be using the app because it's so convenient. And I know the color looks weird. I will tell you how I got this color yesterday, and I'll show you actually how I do it. But I have found that this light is going to work great for what I want to do. So it's got a little fan built in back here to help keep it cool, as I'm sure it's going to heat up at times. So from a design construction build, this solves the very problem I've been wrestling with. I did not want to be hauling some big softbox light stand out. This is going to be so perfect. A lot of the little LED light panels that you mount on top of these are just not powerful enough to really give me good fill light when I'm 3, 4 feet away, 5 feet away or further outside, both with sun or at dark. But this thing can produce some power. So I'm very happy with the design, with the construction, with the controls. If I didn't have the app, the controls are fine. I just don't like farting around with dials. Now I found out that the little mesh bag is to hold the DC power, and I keep the USB cord that came with it in here. So that's going to stay in the case for me. So the other item they sent me that was in the box was a Bowens mount, which, you know, I guess for filming indoors, I could mount one of their soft boxes on here. I'll be honest, I'm not a portrait guy. I don't know if this works with all different, I don't know if this is a standard mount, if it's a proprietary mount. I can't answer those questions. Don't know, and honestly, I don't care because I don't have a lot of that. I'm not a portrait photographer. I'm not going to be using this for product photography or food photography. For my purposes, in the house, I may well use this for a little off camera light. Now, when I'm out in the field, it's probably going to be on camera, just because a light stand is one more thing to carry around, fall over, damage. You know, I don't want a cheap light stand to fall over outside and break the light. But the one thing I'll say about the build on this little Bowens mount, it's lightweight, but it doesn't feel cheap or flimsy. Okay, you know, it feels like it's either plastic, but it's not a light plastic. It's got a good firm quality to it. Because so often when you get things, you hear rattles and crap. So again, for indoors, I may well use this. I've got plenty of light stands from high-speed hummingbird photography that I can throw into use for this. So I tried putting the you know, the light on this, and it mounts. The beauty of this little Bowens mount is, you know, it mounts the exact same way as this does. So that makes that nice and convenient. So what I would say is, I could see using this also for macro photography, or like sometimes you're gonna do a landscape photography, you know, and maybe it's blue hour, but you got some wildflowers in front of you and you'd like to light those up. That this would be a great light for that, because you could put it off camera. It's solid enough where you're gonna be able to set it on the ground and not worry about it. It won't, you know, it won't fall over. There's also, with that 1/4 inch hole, you could easily put a lens plate or something on here and set it on a tripod. You could screw a tripod in direct, which I hate screwing tripods in direct. It wastes so much time. But for me, this has enough options. I could see using this at night for lighting up, like pretending it's the moon, to use for snakes at night, different kinds of images that I would be taking. I'm truly excited because, you know, I was looking online, nothing was coming about that was going to work for video, which is going to be my main use. But thank you, Zhiyun. I am grateful for this. You know, sometimes people send products. This is the first time I've been asked to do a product like this. I've gotten another one since that I'll be doing a video on. And I'm very choosy. Like if people have asked me to review a couple other things, and I'm like, I would never use that. Sorry, I don't want to talk about something I'm not going to use. This is an answer to prayer for me in terms of making better quality content for you, and probably using for some photos. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to hop over to my desk and we're going to walk through the app and how to control this light using the app. All right, nature photographers, well, we're back. I've got the light powered on. I've got everything ready to roll. Hopefully I have it facing enough away from the screen where it's not too bright, but I'm recording my iPhone right now, and we're going to go into the ZY Vega. That is the ZY Vega. That's the app to use to control this light. Now, one thing I was very impressed with was how quick this connected yesterday when I was first setting it up. Too often I've tried other brands of lights and they'll connect once easily, like controlling home lights or other things, and then you can't connect to that bulb again and it's useless. So very impressed with the speed of the connectivity and the reliability. So let's go right into the app here, okay? I've already created a group, so now it's loading the settings of that light. I can turn it on and watch how easy. So again, I can power on and off the light just by pressing the power button. You can control, so it's got a couple of presets, right? Daytime, which if I were using that for recording light, that would probably be where I would start. And it'll model tungsten lamp, modeling lights. You know, I don't know that, you know, sunlight. Now, if I'm trying to take a photo of macro or something outside where I might be using this. But here's one thing I really like, okay? Let's go back to daytime. I can adjust the brightness with a slider. Look how easy that is. It'll show me the percentage. I can turn it completely off. I love the level of control, or you can tap the plus minus button on there for very precise adjustments. So this is very easy to use. Very happy with that. Here we can control the color temperature very quickly, sliding it back and forth. You accidentally hit it, change it, just tap on daytime for your starting point. So again, the brightness adjustment, the color temperature, very easy to use, okay? Now, once I go back in the app to the group, I can tap on that again. There are a couple of really cool features. You can have it mimic a gel, which for my purposes, you know, again, if you're a portrait photographer, I could see a lot of those. Okay, so one of the cool features that we're gonna find with this light is that we can actually pick a very specific color using what's called the picker. So let's hop into our pick, and I'm gonna use this Coca-Cola Spice can, and we're gonna choose this crazy color right here. Look at how quick that worked. I mean, that's a pretty cool feature. Now again, for nature photography, am I probably gonna use that a lot? I don't know, but for a background light, for portrait, for all other kinds of work, I can imagine having that level of accuracy be very helpful. And then you can adjust the brightness, you can adjust the hue, and you can adjust the saturation on that, right? So I can still adjust the brightness using that color. That is a pretty cool feature. Now, this thing does a lot more that I can't even begin to tell you about because I haven't had time to play with the music feature, the strobe and all that. I mean, I don't even know if I know how to get in there, you know? I might, but the thing is, I don't need to. For my purposes, how simple this is, how quick, I mean, the adjustments, making them with the app, that's what I'm gonna need. So I'm out doing a video, right? I wanna power my light on and off. I don't want to have to walk over to my camera because I got my position set. So I'm going to open up my phone. I'm going to turn it on, make any adjustments to the brightness I might need to or the color balance. And, you know, if I need a little more light while I'm out videoing or I need a lot less, make that adjustment, boom, start doing my video. The connectivity, how quick that was, the ability to make those very specific color picker, I probably will play with that at some point, you know, like maybe picking certain grays and other cool colors like that. I'm very happy with this light. You can bet that this is going to play a big role in the videos that I'm bringing you. And what I'm really interested in is trying it for macro photography or other types of photography. You know, flash, the nice thing about this compared to flash, with this, my highlight alerts, my live histogram, they're going to come into play, right? They'll be accurate. When you're using flash, pre-live highlight alerts with OM system cameras and histogram, it's meaningless. But this will let me do that. So I want to say thank you, Zhiyun, for picking me and sending me this light. I will be keeping this. I will be using it regularly. And I hope for my viewers that if, depending on your kind of photography or video, you may well have some uses too. The price is very affordable. You know, again, I can tell you the retail value. You can look that up online. I will put the link to this light. I'll have an affiliate link for Amazon down below. And I'll also put a link to their website where you can learn more about the specs, the special features. I'll put a link to their YouTube where they show some of the cool features on it. But for me, that's what I'm going to use it for. And let's go over those top features. Build quality, the power options. So again, on the road, using the battery, using a USB-C power supply, and then here in the house, the DC supply. The fact it's got the 1/4 inch mount where I'm going to be able to put it on a small rig cage located on my camera, and the connectivity ease with this app, I'm very happy. Hope it helps bring you some better content. Thanks for watching, guys. Go out and get some great shots. Y'all have a great day.